Long ago, in a far corner of the vast galaxy, humans were thought to be gone forever. Many civilizations that once knew about Earth had stopped looking for it. They believed the blue planet orbiting a quiet, ordinary star had become just a forgotten memory, lost in the endless darkness of space. Earth's signals had disappeared, its presence erased from many star maps and records. Time had passed and stories about humans faded into myths and legends. For countless years, no one heard a single message from the world that once held one. Of the most curious and determined species, alien scientists studied ancient archives and catalogs, marking humanity as a vanished race, a chapter closed and left behind. But no one could have guessed that beneath the surface of that peaceful-looking planet, something was stirring after a long, long rest. Deep below the oceans and mountains, the ground began to murmur quietly. Tiny movements inside the crust grew stronger, like whispers that slowly turned into voices calling out from the deep. These movements were unlike anything the planet had shown before. They were small tremors, barely noticed by the humans on the surface at first, but they carried a strange rhythm, a pattern that seemed almost alive. Far across the galaxy, in the vast silence of space, a few watchful eyes and curious ears detected something new, faint signals coming from Earth, pulses that no one had recorded for centuries. These were not random sounds, but signs of something waking up. Scientists on distant worlds puzzled over these seismic signals. They wondered what could cause such steady, mysterious vibrations from a planet thought to be quiet and forgotten. Some believed it was a natural event, a rare geological change, but others felt a strange energy behind it, something more than just shifting rocks and moving plates. On Earth, humans went about their daily lives unaware that their world was quietly shaking beneath their feet. People did notice small earthquakes and unusual tremors here and there, but no one imagined these were signs of a larger force stirring deep below. The news spread slowly, and experts debated what might be happening inside the planet's core. Geologists and physicists worked together, trying to understand the strange energy emerging from Earth's depths. Meanwhile, distant, observers from other planets grew more interested. The stories about humanity being lost now seemed wrong. If Earth was sending signals again, if its ground was moving with new power, maybe humans were still here, and maybe they had changed. Some alien scholars began to think that humans might have developed in ways no one expected during their long isolation. They wondered if Earth's core had awakened in response to something special about its inhabitants. Could humans have unlocked a secret buried beneath the ground? Was this the cause of the mysterious seismic pulses? Suspense built across the galaxy as more watchers turned their attention back to Earth. These signals hinted at a power that had been sleeping, waiting for the right moment to rise. What was hidden in the planet's heart? Was it energy, knowledge, or something else? The alien civilizations that once ignored Earth started sending small probes and ships to observe from afar. They wanted to learn what had changed, what humans had become, and why their homeworld was now alive with strange activity. Back on Earth, scientists detected bursts of energy during the tremors. These bursts were unlike any natural earthquakes. They seemed controlled, almost intelligent. They caused subtle but important changes to Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere. Researchers began to suspect that the shaking was not just a natural event, but something connected to the life and history of their planet. The questions grew deeper, and the mystery pulled more attention from people everywhere. Governments and space agencies prepared to explore this new phenomenon carefully. At the same time, humans felt a quiet but growing excitement, as if their planet was sending a message. The ground shaking was a sign of something awakening within them, something that linked their past to their future, but no one could yet understand how deep and powerful this awakening would be. Around the galaxy, whispers of Earth's return spread. Stories once thought to be ancient myths now sounded like warnings or promises. Could humanity rise again among the stars? Were they ready to reclaim their place in the universe after so long in the shadows? The unknown brought a mix of hope, fear, and curiosity. For the first time in centuries, many watched Earth not as a distant, forgotten world, but as a beacon of possibility. The home of humans was no longer silent. It was alive and shaking, calling out in ways no one had heard before. As the pulses grew stronger and the tremors more frequent, all eyes in the galaxy turned toward that blue planet, waiting to see what would come next. What secrets lay beneath the surface? What power was awakening deep inside Earth? And what would the humans do now that their homeworld was no longer quiet and forgotten, but alive with ancient and new energy? The answer was still unknown, but one thing was clear. Something extraordinary was beginning, and no one could ignore it. The galaxy held its breath, ready for the next chapter in the story of humanity, a story that was far from over. Without warning, the very ground of Earth began to tremble violently, as if the planet itself was coming alive in a way no one had ever seen before. The crust convulsed with a force that shook mountains, cracked deserts, and sent waves roaring across the oceans. Cities trembled, and people everywhere felt the power beneath their feet. Yet, despite the chaos, humans stood firm, though they did not yet know the full story of their reputation among the stars. They showed a determination that seemed to rise from the very heart of their being. Scientists and engineers worked day and night, racing against time to understand the forces causing this great upheaval. Emergency teams moved swiftly, helping millions stay safe as the planet's surface shifted under them. Meanwhile, satellites in orbit above the Earth captured strange bursts of energy shooting out from deep below the surface. Streams of power unlike anything recorded in galactic history. These energy bursts flickered with unusual colors and patterns, pulsing rhythmically in ways that hinted at intelligence or design. To the humans watching, this was a mystery to solve. To alien observers, it was a revelation that shook their understanding of Earth and its people. Alien stations that had been silently monitoring the distant planet now buzzed with excitement and confusion. The old belief that humans were a lost, weak species was challenged by these unexpected signs of strength and hidden ability. Could humans have evolved in isolation, developing abilities that made them unique in the galaxy? Or had they uncovered an ancient source of power buried beneath their planet that no other civilization had ever known? Questions multiplied in the minds of many as the ground continued to pulse and shake, each tremor carrying a new wave of energy and mystery. In cities and towns, people experienced strange phenomena during the quakes. Electrical systems flickered, but did not fail. Communication networks held strong despite the turmoil. Some reported brief flashes of light in the sky and strange humming sounds that seemed to come from the ground itself. Researchers hypothesized that the energy bursts might be connected to a previously unknown core beneath the planet's surface, an energy well that had remained dormant for millennia. The idea was both thrilling and frightening. If this core was alive and changing, what did that mean for the future of Earth? Was the planet awakening to protect its people, or was something greater, something uncontrollable emerging from its depths? Human governments joined forces with scientists and space agencies to study the phenomenon carefully, knowing that the fate of their world could depend on understanding these events quickly. Around the galaxy, the story spread. News channels on distant planets, once uninterested in Earth, now showed images of the tremors, the strange lights, and the bursts of energy. Many began to wonder whether humans had become a species to watch, not as weak survivors, but as potential leaders with new power. The galaxy was filled with anticipation and a sense of cautious hope. Could this awakening ground be the start of a new era for humanity? As the tremors continued, people found strength in unity. Communities helped each other rebuild damaged areas, shared information about the unusual occurrences, and worked to remain calm amid uncertainty. Across Earth, stories spread about moments of unexpected courage and invention. People creating new ways to use the energy that seemed to rise from the core, machines that could withstand the tremors, and methods to predict the movements of the planet better. Even children spoke of feeling connected to something greater, as if the planet was alive in a way they had never imagined. Meanwhile, alien observers debated what course to take. Some argued that humans had awakened a dangerous force, one that could threaten other worlds if not controlled. Others believed Earth's power could be a gift, a new energy source or technology that could benefit the entire galaxy. Many feared a conflict might arise if factions tried to seize this power, while a few hoped that humans would choose to share it, becoming bridges between worlds. Among the humans themselves, leaders and scientists pondered the meaning of the bursts of energy in the quaking land. Some thought the core was a natural phenomenon triggered by long-forgotten processes, while others believed it was linked to humanity's own growth and resilience. Was this a test of their strength or a call to a new destiny? As days turned into weeks, the tremors showed no sign of stopping, and the bursts of energy became more intense and frequent. The world was changing before their eyes. The atmosphere, crackled with charged particles, and new unexpected minerals appeared where the earth had split open. Explorers and geologists rushed to study these changes, hoping to unlock secrets that might explain how Earth's core had suddenly awakened. In the midst of the chaos and discovery, people began to feel a growing sense of pride and hope. The planet was no longer just a quiet world lost in space. It was alive with potential and power. Humans were reminded of their history, their ability to survive against odds, and their place in a galaxy that was now watching closely. This was not a moment to fear, but to embrace. Earth was calling its people to rise, to explore the mysteries beneath their feet, and to prepare for whatever future awaited them. The tremors were a warning, a challenge, and a promise all at once. They spoke of a planet that had waited patiently for its humans to be ready, and now it was time for the next step in their story. The galaxy, wide and mysterious, was waiting too. In this moment of great change, every heartbeat on Earth was linked to the pulse of the planet itself, and every human was part of something larger than themselves. The awakening ground was more than just shaking rock. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one that held endless possibilities and unknown dangers. The question on everyone's mind was clear. What would humans do with this newfound power, and how would it shape their destiny among the stars? The answer remained hidden deep within the core of Earth, waiting for those brave enough to seek it and wise enough to understand. After centuries of silence, the galaxy's curiosity grew too strong to ignore. Galactic ambassadors, cautious yet eager to understand what had changed on the once-forgotten blue planet, sent envoys on long journeys across space. These envoys traveled through star systems and nebulas, guided by faint signals and the growing mystery of Earth's awakening. When they finally arrived, they expected ruins or a civilization barely surviving, perhaps a species struggling to rebuild after a long dark age. Instead, they found something astonishing. Earth was alive, thriving with vibrant cities, bustling populations, and technology that combined ancient wisdom with new discoveries. Humans had not only survived, they had transformed adversity into strength. The envoys saw machines powered by unknown energy, structures built with materials that seemed to adapt and heal themselves, and defenses that could withstand forces far beyond what galactic science had recorded. The people they met were not frightened or weak, but confident and determined, ready to share their story. Leaders and scientists from Earth welcomed the envoys with a mixture of pride and caution. They spoke of the long years spent learning from their planet, exploring its depths, and building a future that respected the past. Humans revealed that the seismic disturbances everyone had witnessed came from a source unlike any other, a dormant energy core hidden deep beneath Earth's surface. This core had been quiet for millennia, but it was never dead. Over time, through human innovation, unity, and respect for their homeworld, this ancient power had been slowly awakened. It was as if the planet itself had waited for its people to be ready, for them to understand and unlock the secrets buried in its heart. The energy core was not just a source of power, but a key to survival and potential beyond imagination. It held knowledge and strength that could change the fate of any species who learned to harness it. Humans explained how their ancestors had discovered this core's existence through careful study of the planet's movements, geology, and energy flows. They shared how generations of scientists and explorers had worked together, combining technology with ancient Earth wisdom to communicate with the core and learn its secrets. This cooperation had brought not only powerful energy but a new sense of connection between humans and their planet. The envoys listened with growing awe and respect. Many had never imagined a species could rise again from the shadows with such courage and intelligence. The humans were not relics or forgotten beings. They were pioneers who had found a way to survive by embracing both their history and the mysteries of their world. The discovery of the core explained the strange pulses and tremors felt across Earth, but it also raised new questions. What exactly was this energy? How far could its power reach? And what responsibilities came with it? Some envoys worried about the consequences of such strength. Others saw hope, an opportunity to learn and grow alongside the humans who had proven themselves capable of great things. Meanwhile, on Earth, people worked to understand how to use this energy wisely. They knew it could change everything: their technology, their environment, even their place in the galaxy. But they also understood the dangers. The core's power was immense and unpredictable, and they needed to master it with care and respect. Stories spread across the galaxy about Earth's return, stirring both excitement and caution. Allies and rivals alike watched closely as humans prepared to step out of their long silence. The envoys reported back, sharing what they had seen and heard. Their message was clear: humanity was no longer lost or forgotten. It was alive, strong, and ready to face whatever challenges the universe might bring. The return of the humans also inspired hope among other civilizations that had felt forgotten or powerless. If Earth's people could awaken a hidden power through unity and determination, then maybe others could find strength in their own histories and worlds. The galaxy felt the shift, a change that promised new alliances, new conflicts, and new stories yet to be told. In this moment, the future seemed uncertain but full of possibility. Humans had uncovered a secret that changed everything, and now it was time to decide how to use it. Would they share this power to build peace and progress, or would fear and suspicion lead to conflict? The answers lay ahead, waiting for those brave enough to face them. As the envoys prepared to leave, they promised to return, to learn more, and to keep watch. The galaxy had awakened to a new chapter in its story, one where the forgotten humans were at the center, guiding the way toward a future shaped by resilience, wisdom, and hope. As news of Earth's awakening energy core spread throughout the galaxy, a coalition of alien factions driven by suspicion and ambition grew determined to seize this powerful resource for themselves. These factions, long wary of humanity's return and eager to maintain control over galactic resources, saw Earth's core as a prize too valuable to ignore. Their fleets gathered at the edges of human space, preparing to claim the planet and its hidden power. But what they found was far from the weak and forgotten species they expected. Humans, tested and tempered by millennia of hardship and survival, had grown into a force that would not be easily defeated. United by their shared history and a fierce desire to protect their home, the people of Earth rallied with unmatched resilience. Across continents, from bustling cities to remote outposts, every human prepared to defend their planet. The ground beneath their feet was no longer just soil and rock, but a living fortress, pulsing with the energy of the core. Human engineers and scientists had harnessed this power to create defenses unlike any other, barriers of energy that shimmered across the skies, fleets of ships that moved with incredible speed and precision, and weapons that could disrupt the most advanced alien technology. These innovations were born from the fusion of ancient Earth wisdom and modern science, a combination that gave humanity an edge that surprised even the most experienced galactic commanders. As the alien fleets approached, expecting an easy conquest, they were met with a display of human strength and unity that shook their confidence. Battles erupted across space and on the planet's surface, fierce and relentless. Yet despite their might, the alien forces could not break the human defense. Each attack was met with ingenuity and courage, the people fighting not just for survival but for the future of their species and the promise of a new galactic alliance built on respect and cooperation. Amid the chaos, leaders from Earth sent messages across the stars calling for peace and understanding. They offered the knowledge of the energy core not as a weapon of war, but as a gift to build together, a power that could benefit many if shared wisely. This offer was met with skepticism, but also with hope from some factions who saw the potential for unity rather than conflict. Over time, the battles slowed, and a fragile truce emerged. The humans, once forgotten and underestimated, had proven their true place in the cosmos. They were not conquerors nor victims but guardians of a unique power that carried great responsibility. Their stand had inspired other species to reconsider old prejudices and fears, opening the door to a new era of cooperation across the stars. The energy core beneath Earth became a symbol of this change, a source of strength that could unite diverse worlds rather than divide them. Humans shared their knowledge and worked alongside former enemies to explore the full potential of the core's power. Together, they discovered ways to heal damaged planets, improve energy systems, and create technologies that respected the balance of nature and life. The forgotten humans had become champions of a new galactic alliance, proving that resilience, unity, and wisdom could overcome even the greatest challenges. The story of their stand against overwhelming odds spread across the galaxy, inspiring countless others to believe in the power of hope and cooperation. As Earth's defenders looked to the future, they knew that many challenges still lay ahead, but they also understood that they were no longer alone. The awakening ground beneath their feet was not just a source of power, but a foundation for a future where different species could work together, learning from each other and growing stronger. The human stand was a testament to what could be achieved when a people refused to be forgotten and chose to rise as protectors of peace and progress in a vast and often uncertain universe. With the ancient energy core secured deep beneath the surface of Earth, and a fragile but hopeful galactic alliance now in place, humanity stepped boldly into a future they had only dreamed of for centuries. No longer the forgotten species once thought lost to time and silence, humans had awakened not only a power within their planet, but a strength within themselves, strength born from unity, knowledge, and courage. Their homeworld's violent shaking, which once sparked fear and uncertainty, had revealed itself as a herald of rebirth, signaling the start of a new era for both Earth and the wider galaxy. This new dawn was not just about technology or power. It was about the rediscovery of humanity's place among the stars, a place marked by resilience and the will to rise above adversity. Across Earth, people celebrated the peaceful alliance that had grown from the chaos of conflict. Scientists, diplomats, and explorers worked side by side with alien partners, sharing wisdom and technology in ways never before imagined. Together, they built vessels capable of faster-than-light travel, created energy grids that could heal damaged planets, and developed communication networks that linked worlds separated by light years. The knowledge gained from Earth's core became a foundation for these advances, showing all species that power was most meaningful when used to support life and harmony. The galaxy itself seemed to respond to this new hope. Planets once at war or isolation began reaching out to one another, inspired by Earth's example. Borders softened, and old rivalries cooled, as many recognized the value of cooperation over conquest. Stories of humanity's rise spread through space stations, marketplaces, and governments, turning the forgotten humans into symbols of perseverance and potential. Even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, where suspicion and fear had long ruled, the light of this new dawn cast a warm glow, encouraging others to dream of peace and progress. Meanwhile, on Earth, everyday life changed in subtle and profound ways. Cities grew greener and cleaner, powered by the sustainable energy drawn from the core. Education and exploration flourished as young people dreamed not only of their planet, but of the stars beyond. Communities found strength in their shared history, honoring the struggles of those who had come before while looking forward with hope. The planet itself seemed to breathe with new life, its heartbeat in tune with the pulse of a galaxy ready to move forward together. Yet the path ahead was not without challenges. Humanity and its new allies knew that the universe was vast and unpredictable. There were mysteries still to uncover, dangers lurking in the unknown, and decisions that would test the values they had fought so hard to uphold. But this time, they were ready. The shaking ground that had once been a symbol of fear had become a symbol of hope. A reminder that even in the face of uncertainty, courage and unity could light the way forward. As human explorers prepared to journey deeper into space, they carried with them the lessons of Earth's awakening. They knew that their strength did not come from weapons or control, but from their willingness to connect, to understand, and to protect. This new era was about building bridges between worlds, sharing knowledge, and creating a future where all species could thrive together. The galaxy watched as humans moved from the shadows into the light, no longer forgotten, but celebrated as pioneers of a bright new age. The stars were no longer distant points of mystery, but destinations filled with possibility and friendship. Humanity's story, once thought to be lost, was now being written across the cosmos, line by line, with courage and hope guiding every step. In this great new dawn, Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a symbol of rebirth, unity, and the endless potential of life itself. The galaxy would never forget humanity again, for their journey had proven that even the most forgotten can rise to greatness, changing the course of history and inspiring countless others to believe in the power of hope. As the light of a new day spread across the stars, humanity stood ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that together they could shape a future filled with peace, discovery, and endless wonder.